Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Hard West. In the previous episode, we gathered up the last of our posse with Henry H. Persons and Randy Harding. And in this episode, we'll be taking care of one last thing before launching our attack on Purgatory. But first things first, we're going to want to head for the Fate Trader. And we're going to want to buy a judge. And we're also going to want to buy a Ghost Town fruit. Now we're going to head for the Wizard. The wonderful Wizard of the Weird West. You return to the circus tent to find it deserted. With the crowd missing, the dark rooms look completely unfamiliar. You can start searching for the Wizard with the performance tent or the backstage. It doesn't really matter which one you, choose, but if you sneak through the backstage, you'll get 3 angelic spheres. If you go through the main tent, you'll get an 18 shooter. So let's go through the main tent. Red and blue lights illuminated a host of wax figures. Some of them looked oddly similar to you. One of your wax doppelgangers held 2 guns. One pointed at its own head, the other pointed at you. The guns clicked. As it dawned on you what was happening, Persons pulled out his gun and shot off the automaton's hand. Risking further injury, you grabbed the automaton's other gun and proceeded backstage. For a traveling circus, the backstage was strangely luxurious, furnished with mirrors, lavish rugs, and china. Before you stood half a dozen wizards, each moving in the same way. Your eyes were playing tricks on you. You were unable to distinguish the real wizard from the illusions. A gun sprang into the wizard's hand and he shot at you, sending incendiary sparks across the room. You managed to return fire, wounding him in the leg. You demanded to know where the Grim Boatman was. The wizard smiled. He had had no quarrel with you until he was told to. He was like you, he said, a puppet to a greater mastermind. He had traded his soul for his magical abilities. What do you mean? You wanted to know what he meant by he was told to. Weeks ago, the stranger who'd given him his talents had returned to tell the wizard you were coming. The stranger had offered new promises. He would bring the wizard international renown if he tested your mettle. The wizard was to devise a series of challenges and obstacles for you to surmount. He didn't realize he was never supposed to succeed. This brought him to his final words. He was now straining to speak. It was all very simple, he said, with a grim chuckle. You would find the Grim Boatman down the road by the riverbank. Then, having spilled his final secret, the Grand Wizard Algretto died. Out of the corner of your eye, you could see your shootout had caused a fire, which was now spreading across the compound. There was one more unexplored area. Despite the fire, you decided to go there. And that is how we get the Oxen Skull trinket. Along with a few other things, which is the final trinket of this game. Falling debris and intense heat caused several of your companions injuries, but you made your way to the wizard's trophy room. As your companions collected the wealth, you picked up an inconspicuous trinket lying in a glass cabinet. It was time to leave. But not before visiting the Fate Trader. Oh boy, we're gonna have to solve a lot of stuff. Solve the petrification bolt. I'll hold on to that. Solve the dream catcher. Let me look at what I need. Because we're also going to need a fair amount of money in order to pay for our injuries. 296, huh? Chain revolver, I think, can go. 18 shooter can go. 10 gauge double shotgun can go. Noise bomb, petrification bolt, that can go. Bottle of liquor, dose of opium. Those can all go. Ugh. Even if I sell off my cash, it's not going to be enough. Medical bag, that can go. Stimulant, fine. A bloodstained shirt, sure, take that. Oxen skull. Oxen skull and a string of obsidians. It looks magical. Looks max HP, minus 15 max luck. Yeah, I'll toss that. Onto the pile. Does this guy even have any cash to give me? He does not. Which means I should take something out of this pile. Nothing is worth exactly 4 in here, huh? Take one out and toss one cash in. Oh, but that doesn't leave Will with a whole lot to work with. Stimulant, medical bag, vitality elixir. I mean, I suppose considering what's going to happen, doesn't really matter for me, given my choices. Well, basically, you're going to want to head to the Quack Wagon, heal off any injuries, but the problem is we don't have the cash for that. Let's see, you asked whether he could help with Hardin's embarrassing problem. Quack admitted he had a single dose of mercury stashed for emergencies. It would temporarily relieve Hardin's ailment, but the effect would vanish after a while. He named his price and asked whether you wanted him to administer it now. Okay, the doctor told Hardin to undress. Having no desire to watch what came next, he left the wagon. Half an hour later, Hardin emerged from the wagon looking confused but stronger. Don't have the, cash, unfortunately, to heal off the rest of our injuries, but like I said, it doesn't really matter. At least, not for me. Okay, we are now going to head for the Grim Boatman, and we'll be given a choice. As it turned out, the Grim Boatman wasn't a person at all. It was a disused marina, named after a fire that took the lives of almost 100 people, including Governor Sean Milton Greenhalgh and Dave Gissy, the railroad builder. A lone boat sat waiting. You took the boat across the river. You rowed across the river, the landscape started to change. What had at first been a grassy shoreline had turned into a nightmarish wasteland. Gradually, the current got stronger and, to your horror, a massive waterfall appeared in front of you. You tried to resist, but the rushing water was too strong. You plunged over the waterfall into the unknown. To purgatory. You woke up in a strange place that you found oddly familiar. It looked as though it had been built by humans. You had arrived in purgatory. Finally, you were moments away from saving Florence. Do you wish to play the rest of the story from Warren's perspective, or the Undertaker's? If you choose Warren, you will play with your current posse. If you choose the Undertaker, you will play a posse made up of him and various surviving characters from previous scenarios. Yeah, this kind of affects how things play out. If you choose Warren, you'll have a choice of 2 different endings. One is the same as if you just play as the Undertaker, and the other is, well, the bad ending, at least in my opinion. I'm going to choose to play with the Undertaker. Now, this may be bad considering we have buffed up several of our characters, but I'm going for it. We have access to all the inventory from before, along with a few extras now. We also have a full deck. We have as many cards to work with. Our characters consist of the Undertaker, his old pal Oswald Harrington, Reverend Ashmore, and C. Persons, whom you may remember. Now then, For the Undertaker / Warren, you're going to want to give him the Judge, any revolver-type weapon, and the Doomsday Watch and 2 Ghost Town fruits. Let's see what we got for revolvers. Because it's selling off a lot of stuff. The only thing we have is the 6-shooter. Well, so be it. Let's give him that Doomsday Watch. And the 2 Ghost Town fruit. As for the others, we're going to want to equip them as we see fit. But we're going to want to give our characters with the highest damage the 2 judges that we have left in our inventory. We do have 2, right? Yeah, we got 2. Thing is, I can't really tell who has the highest damage, so I'm just going to give one to Oswald and one to Reverend Ashmore. Ooh, a Navy gun. I can actually give that to the Undertaker. And I think I will. As for the others, I'll equip them as I see fit. Seeing as how he has the sight, which I'm still not 100% sure what exactly sight does. I'm guessing it increases your ability to see. I'm going to give him the Mammoth Rifle. It does give him negative 15 aim when he aims with it. Well, let's see. You know what? I think I'm actually going to give him the Elephant Rifle. 1 point in damage isn't really going to change much. I'll give the Musket to Reverend Ashmore. And as for C persons, take the Quadruple Shotgun, and for the other, take the Heavy Pepper Box. Talismans, all I got left is 2 rounds of Cursed Ammo. I'll give that to Ashmore and to Harrington. Usable items. Got healing elixirs. I may as well give these to the others. I'll give you a nail bomb instead. And as for the cards, according to this, we're going to want to give the Golden Bullet ability to either Warren or the Undertaker, depending on who you have. And from there, we will work, and we'll work from there. Just take these off, take these off. Golden Bullet. And I may as well try and go for a full house. Give that to him. Give him 2 luck. And I'm guessing 3 aim cards. Go for Vengeance, because he is essential to this. And the Ricochet. Okay. Let's see. C persons. Well, having that Beast here might not be bad for you. So I'll also give you Smell Blood. What's your weakest stat? Pretty poor aim stat, but I only have 1 other aim card. Well, not including the Black Joker. Okay, tell you what, I'll give you a 3rd sight card. Give you this aim card, and then give you the Black Joker. 4 of a kind. Apparently it's not going to count it as a full house, which sucks. Oh well, so be it. Let's see. Who has the worst health? That would be Reverend Ashmore. So I'll give you 3 health cards. Let's see. Artery Shot. Why not? For the irony of it. And may as well be Transfusion. As for the 2 others, ooh. Let's see, movement 15, 18, 20, 19. Yeah, I'll give you some movement. Let's give you Shriek. And Shadow Cloak. That gets you a full house. And as for Oswald Harrington... what to give him? Suppose extra defense couldn't hurt. Let's give you Shadow Salve, Shadow Kill, I guess I'll give you this, and should it be Dodge or Courage? Yeah, let's go Dodge. That gets essentially everybody a full house except for our persons. Unless... Nope, that just gets him 5 of a kind, which is plus 2 damage, which isn't bad, but meh. I'd rather give him some extra aim. Okay then. Well, with that, I'd say we're about as ready as we're going to get. So, let's get this over with. Fate of the world would be resolved here. It was the final trial, the end of the line.
Your father was used and abused and discarded by the same dark forces that dominate you now. I gave him purpose, a chance at redemption, for if he can stop you, he can set things right.
That's right, Death wasn't the only manipulator. Now, we're going to want them to take cover behind the walls that are close to the starting point. That way they can have sight lines on the bridge itself. Oswald, you get up over here. Ashmore, you get up over here. As for persons, you get over here. Can't see anyone yet, but it shouldn't be too difficult. Alright, priority is going to be to kill Warren, which we can do right now with our golden bullet.
Because of you, those in purgatory cannot move on. You exist between life and death, and that has disrupted the natural order.
Well, not anymore. Come on, show yourselves. There's Jefferson Burns.
You must know by now that all your suffering has been orchestrated. From that fateful night on the Oregon Trail when your mother was murdered, to the curse that befell your father, to your death at the hands of the masked man, to your undead existence and all the misery and bloodshed that came with it. You have been a puppet all along.
Yeah, pretty much. Boy, these idiots are just going to keep walking on out, aren't they? Well, no skin off my back.
If you destroy Purgatory, you will not bring Florence back. She and every other soul you release will wander lost, untethered from the world of the living, restlessly roaming and never finding peace. Unless you let her go, all you will create is more chaos.
You know, I think it only appropriate that C persons take down Henry H persons. Yeah, I know it's not going to kill him in this one shot, but still. To each their own posse member to end. Yeah, this is stupid. Yeah, I could just take him out with Golden Bullet, which, yeah, I actually could. But come on. Thematically speaking, this is perfect. Although he does have regeneration. Which is going to cause some problems, but not if I can keep up with him. Oof. But that doesn't matter. So he's got healing elixirs. Shame these don't count as cover. Is there anybody who can get a shot off without killing the guy? No. Alright, this has gone on long enough.
You have restored the natural order and fulfilled your destiny. He failed. With his puppet dead, Purgatory is back in business. The cycle of life will begin again. Florence is free, purged by fire, and like the other lost souls, will now ascend to heaven. Life seeps from you as your soul leaves your body. You are judged. There can be but one verdict. You are going to hell.
The end. But as you can tell by the title for this, we're not done yet. Because there is still the Scars of Freedom DLC. And, well, that's just over 6 minutes left, but instead of starting that, I may as well go ahead and show you guys the other endings, or what can happen if you play as Warren's posse. I will be using the trainer just to get through this quickly. So, yeah. See you guys when we get to that point. Okay, then. We're back to essentially where we were, except for playing as Warren's posse. Yes, I'm going to be using the trainer for this. Really doesn't matter because, well, I just want to show this and get it over with. Basically, there is some commentary from Death about how your father would try to stop you and blah blah blah.
Because of you, those in Purgatory cannot move on. You exist between life and death, and that has disrupted the natural order. You must know by now that all your suffering has been orchestrated. From that fateful night on the Oregon Trail when your mother was murdered, to the curse that befell your father, to your death at the hands of the Masked Man, to your undead existence and all the misery and bloodshed that came with it. You have been a puppet all along. If you destroy Purgatory, you will not bring Florence back. She and every other soul you release will wander lost, untethered from the world of the living, restlessly roaming and never finding peace. Unless you let her go, all you will create is more chaos. You have to make a choice.
So, playing as Warren's posse, when you get to this point, you have a choice to make. You can either commit suicide, which will essentially play out the same ending you get as if you had, played as the Undertaker's posse, or you can destroy Purgatory, which somehow involves a bookcase for some reason. And seeing as how we've already seen the good ending, let's see the bad one. And that gets us the achievement on Earth as it is in Hell.
Purgatory is destroyed. Souls scatter to the four winds, Florence among them. But they are lost and can never be found. The devil didn't lie, but he tricked you yet again. The lonesome souls are drawn to the living, causing madness among them. Misery and famine spread across the land. The devil succeeded, and now you will remain for eternity in the world you ravaged.
Yep. Now you see why I went with The Undertaker first. But of course, like I said before, our story is not yet over with Hard West, as we still have the Scars of Freedom. Unfortunately, we've only got about 2.5 minutes left, so I'm not going to get it started, because, it always starts with a tactical mission, and I'm fairly certain that's the same here. So, I'm going to have to end this episode off here for today. If you guys like what you see, please leave a like, subscribe for future content, and don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notifications for when I upload, or to hit the straw poll link to vote for our next Let's Play, unless, of course, I'm going to be ending the series within the next 3 videos, in which case there's probably not going to be a straw polling. But in that case, I'm going to tell you where it is now with a total of 8 votes, 6 for A Hat in Time, 1 for Prey 2017, 1 for Shadowrun Dragon Ball Director's Cut, and 0 for Metro Last Light. And, well, chances are it's going to be A Hat in Time. Like I said, if I manage to finish Scars of Freedom within the next 3 videos, then I'll probably be starting that next week. Otherwise, there probably won't be a straw poll for this week. But with that, if you could also please leave a comment down below this video, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.